Hello, good people. Emmanuel Sanyu Safari bring the Promise Insurance Show. I want to talk about comprehensive insurance because in the past we have spoken about third-party insurance. I think one thing I need to note here is there have been some new developments. For instance, COMESA insurance. This is also an extension of third-party insurance. However, you have to get it when you have already some comprehensive insurance or third-party insurance. And then you have to extend it with a company that provided it to you, the COMESA, the third-party insurance or the comprehensive to give you the COMESA. So these are the rates we usually charge per year. If this is the annual premium, $200 for people who are going to South Sudan, Rwanda, Congo, Burundi, those francophone countries, plus taxes will come to $237. So depending on the exchange rate of the year or in the month, it will be about 912,000. For East Africa, it will be that. So then it will be 729,000. So if you want 1 month, we shall charge usually 20%, so it will be $47 and $38. So the premiums will be 182,000 and 145,000. So that is a pre-cap for what we had discussed last time. But as we go into this discussion, let me start with these few videos just to give you an understanding of where we have come from and why we need this. Of course, with our regulator, we will want to start with our regulator. Okay. So our regulator started like that. They are just giving us a preamble. It's responsible car owner entails critical access aspects and safeguarding. So that's our regulator. So let's look at what happens. We have seen some of these accidents caused by our the nature of the roads that we are having, and also we have seen these kind of crashes. For instance, whenever it rains, we have seen floods in Kenya, for instance, in the month of April and March, even this month of May, when I'm producing this video, 2024. And it has caused massive losses, and of course the insurance industry has had to pay a lot for those people who have had insurance before. So let's just look at someone having this kind of car, 2021, and these are kind of expensive vehicles. Of course, they're the ones who actually want to take out the insurances, comprehensive ones. You can't put third-party insurance for such a car. So with that said, let me just pause it over there. You can't have such a new car and expect to really just take out third-party insurance. So let me just share this last video. So we can see these kind of crashes every other day. So this gives us a very good preamble of where we can begin from, so that we see how we can move forward. So it was a very unfortunate incident, this, but this is life. Some of the things happen without you knowing. So what is comprehensive insurance? Okay, this is just showing you how we charge for it. But before going there, let me just look at what we call the minimum rates as stipulated by IRA. So these are new regulations that came in 2023, and we shall start with motor comprehensive. Of course, motorcycles we can charge at 7.5 and 10% for the commercial ones. Much as, of course, some insurers are interested in covering them, others are not. So you have to be keen. Tricycles, we also have them. Now this is where majority of the clients come in. Motor private, saloon cars usually 4%, and on damages this is excess 10% or a minimum of 100,000. That means for every loss you incur on your vehicle, you will contribute 10%. Then for us, we contribute the 90%, or 100,000 is what you contribute. Then you contribute the balance. So if it is less than say 1 million shillings as a loss, then what we call theft or total loss is 15% of the claim. and then for us to contribute a minimum of 100,000. So I had to go through this because these rates actually vary depending on the vehicles. So if there are those vehicles that are for commercial use, you have to stipulate very clearly. We charge 5%, and lorries, prime movers, tractor heads, the trailer, haulers, that's 6%. Like the vehicle that you saw, the Sino truck, those vehicles are usually at 6%. And tankers, petrol, gas, that's a 7.5, and 6% for other tankers. So we have to know what is stipulated on your logbook. Then the buses, if the buses, minivans, buses, coach, minimum seating capacity of 14 passengers, that is 7.5%. And for the private owned or commercial or corporate, that is PMO, school buses, 6%. Then there are those buses actually that are actually used for cargo. We can also consider them under these rates. Of course, their minimum contribution is a little bit that. So with that said, we have to look at what is entailed in the computations. For instance, we looked at that Highlander that was quite new. I used an example. This was a Prado TX. Most of these vehicles actually, I'd say 200 million. Let me just use an example of 200 million because this would give us the values. Yes. So if it was a 200 million, the premium would come to 8 million shillings. Then we usually recommend some of these vehicles, the specifications actually show us that they have tracking devices. And if you don't have, you have to give us a certificate that it has a tracking device, such that you get a discount of about 15% of your premium. So it will come to about 6.8 plus the levies, the taxes, it will come to 8.1. And remember, you don't have to pay all this premium at once if you don't have all the money. We have what we call insurance premium financing. I had shared with you, we use several banks like NCB Bank. So if they're using IPF and we are charging, say, at 8% per annum, yeah, this would give you a very good figure for you not to pay all this money at once. So if it is this, you would find that you're paying this 8 million times 8% times 0.8. Okay. So of this, you can just divide this by 10 months. So if you can pay 875,000, you write 10 checks to the bank, they can give you the facility. All you have to add is you have to add 30,000. Okay, let's do this. That is 30,000. That is for the stamp duty for banks, and then 40,000. That is for the search fee for IREB. It's called Credit Reference Bureau. So they will charge you that just as a one-time payment at the very beginning, such that in total your first premium would be this plus the 70,000. I hope it shows here. Yes, so you paid 945,000, but then the rest you'll start paying these 10 months installments or to the check to the bank. So let's look at what are the benefits. The benefits are usually 10 million. So depending on the kind of car, if it's a newer car, we can actually negotiate to get more benefits on this other side, because what we are covering, of course, is your own car damages. And even this kind of cars, the way we saw this accident that happened with the truck, so it knocked other vehicles. So this vehicle actually may not be insured, may not have comprehensive insurance. It could have third-party insurance. So if it runs away or it has caused damage, for you can just go to the insurance. Then the insurance company helps you access or get more compensation from these people. But for you, you may not have to waste time with them. Property damage, 50 million. This can go to even 100 million. There are other extensions like medical emergency for the driver, 3 million, car accessories. Now, these are limits because of the kind of car we have gotten. Sometimes they can go to lower values or higher, like locks and key, towing charges. All the things are supposed to be well stipulated in your quotation and also in your policy document. So what is stopping you from actually taking out a comprehensive insurance so that you can safeguard yourself should anything happen? Okay, this is also very key. Remember, I told you excess is 10% of each and every claim. These are accidental damages with a minimum of 100,000 or 10% of each and every claim. So that is a simple scenario. Should you have a car bumper worth 4 million shillings, you would have to contribute 10%, which is 400,000. Then we contribute the 3.6 million. That's an example. Claims, what is needed in claims process, that has to be well stipulated. Of course, you have to fill out the claims form that the company that has been providing you the insurance. They will need a copy of a valid driving permit. If you have knocked other people, that's when they require police reports and at least to repair estimates or quotations from different garages. Then, of course, the photos of the damages. Especially now with faster communication like WhatsApp, this is very possible. In a matter of minutes, it will be done. And there have been some claims that have been paid out in just a matter of days. So let's look at, because of these rates, for instance, if you have a truck, it could be a truck. We looked at a saloon car at say 200 million if it's brand new, or I know there are vehicles that are worth that much. If it was say 50 million, let me use the basic car value. That value will come to 2,250,000. But of course, that is if it has the tracker. If it doesn't have the tracker, you will have to pay an extra 15%. So let's look at if it was a commercial. It could be, most of these trucks are usually commercial. If it was say 6%, then here would have to change to become commercial, so that it makes a lot of sense. So this would change to 6%. So if the vehicle was say worth, again, let's use the same example of 200 million, it would come to 12 million here. That's if it has the tracker discount. I usually want to look at discounts because this helps clients to appreciate and really consider taking on insurance. And if the IPF, actually sometimes this IPF comes down, we negotiate for about 8%. Sometimes it can go to 10%. So if it remains at 10%, I can, if it is at 10%, that is on the higher end. If the bankers are not really willing, it will come to about that. But still, it will be a fair deal because you're covering a car worth, say, 200 million. If this was a truck, yeah, or any other vehicle that is used for commercial purposes, yeah, as they are well stipulated here. So that has to change depending on the kind of car, especially as stated on the logbook. So with that said, I hope I've given justice to this topic of motor comprehensive insurance. It provides peace of mind to vehicle owners by offering financial protection against unforeseen events. And really, what is stopping you from really protecting yourself against such incidents? Okay, we go back to what our regulator was saying. Let's see.